What up? This is Rama Screen, and it's time for another celeb interview. And in the anticipation of Triggered, which arrives on demand and digital November 6th, I'm here talking with one of the stars of this new movie, Liesl Ahlers. How you doing, Liesl?
Hi, Rama. It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time. So, this is a really cool horror thriller made completely in South Africa by South African talents. So, tell me, how did this project come together and how did you personally get involved with it?
It was so cool. Alistair, who is the director, he just reached out to me and he was like, listen, I have the script. I envision you playing Aaron, have a look at it. And when I read it, I was like, done deal. Like, I need to be a part of this. This sounds amazing. I love the concept. And I was so drawn to my character. I think she's so cool. So yeah, I was immediately sold when I read it. So yeah, he reached out to me and I was like, listen, I'm sending you a self-tape and the rest is kind of history.
But but the characters don't sound South Africans. This story or this movie sound like they could be in any place in the world, in any neck of the woods. Correct?
Oh, cool. I'm so happy. Yeah, because we had to like really focus on our accents, especially me because I actually speak Afrikaans. That's like my native language. So I don't really speak English that often now that I think about it. So it was quite a challenge for us to just make sure that we don't sound like too South African, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's quite all right. I love your guys' accent, so no worries.
Oh, yay.
um, I looked you up, and man, you are incredibly skilled at martial arts and self-defense. Does that background kind of help you through physically demanding roles such as Triggered?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a scene where Amber is trying to, stab me with a knife, and I have to like keep her off my body, and it was so, yeah, I could just tap into my martial arts there, but like using your strength, and then I had to like throw her off, like do a roll kind of thing, and I would have loved to do, punches and some kicks and stuff, but I definitely find that it really helps me with like actions and fighting scenes, and it makes it a lot of fun. I love martial arts. It's such a big part of my life, and I'm so happy I started doing that. It's just so much fun.
Awesome. And of course, in addition to that, that whole endurance and running around and being chased around while wielding a big axe or a gun, you guys also shot this film entirely at night. Is that right? So there's that added element where you might not be able to see where you're walking or what you're stepping on. What was that experience like for you guys?
Yes, that's so true. Everything was shot at night. We only did night shoots, and there was a lot of rain. So what happened was it was muddy and it was slippery. And yes, you didn't know what you were stepping on, or you were tripping over things, and yeah, sliding around in the mud. It was insane, and I really feel like that actually contributed to the whole experience. It just made it so much more fun and so much more real. I loved it.
So, how would you describe your character, Aaron? Because the way I see it when I was watching the film, it seems that the other characters have their own relationship or romantic baggage, if you will, while Aaron is more of a walking mystery. What do you think makes Aaron so fascinating? And do you share some things in common with Aaron?
Yeah. Oh, cool. Good question. I love it. Yeah, no, that was why I was so drawn to the script, because I feel like Erin is such an interesting character. I was drawn to the fact that she comes across as like, the stereotype introvert, and
Hmm.
she's quiet and she's the shy one. And I wanted to kind of like show that people have so many sides to them. Like in real life, like I'm an extrovert, but I can also be introverted at times. And I feel like sometimes I need to go into that more reserved part of myself, to feel like myself really. So I wanted to show people that, there's so much more to introverted people than what we sometimes like negatively like label them as, like wallflowers or boring or not being fun. And I think that Erin has this like courageous side to her, and she's, like you said, very mysterious, and she's also very brave. So oof, that was just so thrilling to me, and I found that so compelling. And am I like Erin? I feel like Erin basically embodies this one side of my personality, the side of my personality it's a bit more like innocent, like reserved and introverted. But no, I think my friends would be like, no, you talk way too much. Like you're not at all like Aaron. But I think there is like a side to me that it's exactly like Aaron.
Now, this might be a question for Alistair, but I'm going to ask you anyway. The themes of this story, um, when push comes to shove, humanity or us humans, do we lean more towards our selfish tendencies? Because it seems like this is what this movie conveys.
Yeah, I think it's true. And I don't like to think that that is true. You know, I would like to think that we would always, you know, if we're in a like really tricky situation, we would help, you know, help the elderly, help children, help each other basically, and obviously help your friends. But I think that's what makes the film so cool, because it kind of questions that whole thing, like, would you kill your friends? Would you be willing to kill your girlfriend because you might die, you know? And yeah, but I would hope to think that humanity, there's more hope for humanity that we wouldn't do this. But you know, I think it's cool that the film really like questions that like concept. Would you kill your friends, you know? And I know Alistair said in a couple of interviews, he didn't just want it to be a couple of strangers waking up in the woods and then, you know, not really having any connection to each other. It's so much more interesting, I think, for the audience to watch when, you know, it's two people who are in a relationship, or it's like your best friend, or yeah, I think it makes it so much more interesting.
I gotta ask about that the bomb vest that you guys wore. How uncomfortable was it wearing those, and what was it like? And then did you guys get to take those home as a souvenir or props?
Oh no, I wish we did. No, no, we didn't. No, because I think at the end of the day they were so wrecked. Like they were just like pieces were hanging off of them, like they weren't in one piece anymore. But it was so cool because I say like the props team were so talented, because it looks like it's made out of metal and it looks quite heavy, you know, on screen. But it's actually, it was like sort of like foam latex, I'm assuming. So it was very like lightweight, and we could decide how tight we wanted it, or like around our bodies. I asked for them to make it really tight so I can get into character, because I feel like it helps if you feel like very constricted. But yeah, no, they were made really beautifully, and I think they translated really well, you know, onto the screen. But yeah, it was cool to feel a bit constricted, because it helps with, you know, acting and everything. It was just, it really helped with that.
It really did show. Now, as I'm winding down to my final questions, this is obviously not your first venture to horror genre. You did friend requests prior to this. So, what's next on your horizon, and will we be expecting another horror thriller from you?
You can be expecting a sci-fi thriller that's
Oh,
hopefully coming out next year. It's called The Construct, and I'm really excited about that one. And yeah, I really personally love thriller films. I like, you know, psychological thriller. I think it's amazing. So I'm really drawn to these films. And yeah, so please keep an eye out for The Construct.
and lastly, would you mind explaining to my fans at home what your Squared Shirt charity project is about and where they can go website wise to help with the costs?
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for this research on my project. Yeah, so I basically am a fashion designer, or I have a clothing label as well. And then I decided to make these shirts, and all the money go to children living in poverty in South Africa. So you buy a shirt, you can go to hellopretty.co.za. It's a South African website. And then you can purchase them. And I ship to anywhere in the world, and all of the proceeds will go to them. And yeah, that's it.
All right, Liesl. And for everybody at home, go watch Triggered, which arrives on demand and digital November 6th. Liesl, thank you so much for talking to me, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Rama.